And then people watching this, you could do what you want with it. I came across a post, I was just telling Nick about it, of a politician in Corbin holding Joe Ledington up high, being proud to have him as a friend, and that's all well and dandy. I learned that Joe is an educator, and a darn good one at that. But what he's not good at educating people on is the Colonel's legacy.
If you want, you can tell me.
Because he leaked a fake recipe in 2016. And
It's okay.
it's fake, period. I proved it wrong. Yeah, I just told Nick about this in the kitchen, so I wanted to get on here and explain to some people. He leaked a fake recipe, and I believed it was the real one at first. And then that Johnny Miller clown that impersonates Uncle Harley got in touch with Joe and said that Joe wanted to give my family the scrapbook because he believed it belonged in the actual Sanders family hands. So we agreed to meet with him. Joe gave Johnny his number to give us. We called. He ignored it. Got a message back from Johnny saying that Joe said that he has sour feelings with the Sanders family still, which we have never met him, period. I don't think Uncle Jim met him. I don't think my grandpa Charles met him. I don't think Pop met him. I know Daddy and Uncle Alan didn't meet him. I know I sure as heck didn't meet him. So I was like, what the heck does that mean? I later found out through Cousin Lee's daughter that Uncle Harley and Cousin Lee didn't like Joe very much for the way he conducted himself. And I don't know much about that other than they said Uncle Harley didn't care for him. So it made me question why he would even go public bragging about being related to the Colonel in any way, shape, or form, which he's not. He's a step nephew, former step nephew. And I guess it's his nephew or his grandson or something, but Bubba Hall, same age as me, came on my page and saw a video of me explaining how Joe's recipe was fake. You could tell me many stories that's bullcrap, and if you're on Joe Ledington's side, I don't want anything to do with you because your family is a bunch of liars. They did not file any lawsuit. You can look it up. I looked it up. I don't know why you're following me either. I'm going to fix that for you. And how the story around it is a lie, and here's how it's a lie, how it was fabricated. He insisted it was the Colonel's handwriting. The handwriting on that is absolutely different when you compare notes. And you're right, Uncle Harley preferred to write in cursive rather than print. There are documents from the 1920s and 30s that you can see where he was writing his name and other information in that it was in cursive. And originally when the Chicago Tribune reported this, they said it was just on a piece of paper or a napkin in the scrapbook that Joe Ledington owned. Then it was said that it was on Colonel Sanders' last will and testament, and then I got on the internet and I started telling people he didn't have a last will and testament because there was never one that was notarized. Everything of his went to his estate, and then the daughters had to sue Claudia to get a child's portion, and there was a lot of drama with that, but it's over now. So what did the story change to? They changed it to it's on Claudia's last will and testament, which I know nothing about Claudia's last will and testament, but I know that that's also not her handwriting. And if that was her last will and testament on the back of it, to scribble on the back of her last will and testament and then lie about it, that's a disgrace to her and Uncle Harley. The thing that I can't wrap my mind around is after I called out Joe on the lies, when I found out they were lies, one of his pals or family, Bubba Hall, got mad at me, doubled down on the lies, and then when I proved him wrong, he started lying and slandering the Colonel's name. So if they hated the guy the way that it's claimed, why did they even have a scrapbook of him in the first place? He insisted that there was a $20 million lawsuit placed on Joe to tell people that it's not the recipe. And I said, you're lying. There was no lawsuit. That would have been, we would have seen that. We would have seen something like that. And why would you guys be online still saying it is it then? And I showed the Colonel's handwriting and Claudia's handwriting, which did not match the handwriting of the recipe. Number 4 was spelled wrong. Oregano does not exist. Salt is not included as one of the 11. The Colonel himself has said this on numerous occasions. And there's only a few ingredients of his recipe that I would consider to be in it based on the facts that are publicly listed. And I broke this down in videos. You got garlic of some sorts, black and white pepper, and ginger. Those 4 things out of his recipe match up with things that I found. I found 11 things. The rest of his stuff matches another fake recipe that was leaked years ago by Elua Gibson's grandson, who claimed that he had the recipe, that she made it, and gave him permission to sell it. And it's the exact same recipe, different measurements. But oregano was spelled correctly on that one. The people I talked to within KFC didn't appreciate the dude coming uninvited to the grand opening and then leaking that to the Chicago Tribune. The Colonel's grandchildren are embarrassed by him that he got credit as being a member of the Colonel's family, leaking a fake recipe. And it's embarrassing to see all these big content creators quoting him and his fake recipe without doing any further research on it. So Bubba Hall got on my page on TikTok, and I have a video explaining all this. And he was insisting that he was correct and Joe was right. And I finally got tired of it. I don't want nothing to do with you guys. I was lied to. You guys do business with Johnny Miller, who is a clown. None of my family would ever have anything to do with those people, now that we know how they are. And I said, because I got tired of him commenting, I said, I'm told that Uncle Harley didn't even like Joe, so I don't know why you guys are bragging, especially on my page. And he got so mad that he said the Colonel was a pedo. He said the Colonel owned slaves. He said the Colonel stole the recipe from a black person, that he was a heavy racist. He said he was disgusted that Corbin glorifies the Colonel so much. This guy is friends with the Kentucky Corbin Tourism Department manager that deals with a lot of Colonel Sanders things, and he has attended, and his family attended, many Colonel Sanders events trying to be guest of honor there for being nephews. And he's saying he's disgusted that Corbin holds him up high. So anyways, starts slandering that bull crap and starts saying that they have a pressure cooker of his, a cane of his, a tie of his, and they don't even want them because of how disgusting of a human being he was. And that's embarrassing in itself. And I don't think he was smart enough to know that I was going to screenshot those, send them into Kentucky Fried Chicken as well as liable slander against the company, because they were trying to slander the company itself there, that restaurant, the museum there as well, trying to hurt their business on my page. And I don't think he knew I was friends with the people he's friends with, and I shared it with them. They were appalled by it. So that experience right there, I don't care what politician in any district in Corbin has to say about him. I don't care what his family has to say about him. I don't care how many of his students have great things to say about him. He may have had an excellent career as a teacher and educator. And I'm not going to attack his career. But he's not a nephew. He's a liar. He's a step-nephew, a former one at that. I'm told the Colonel didn't care for him. I know that Lee didn't care for him because of something that he said or did or the way he acted. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he actually has the recipe or not, but from what he posted, that is completely bullcrap, and it's not the recipe. Because the scrapbook he got was from his Aunt Claudia, and when she died, she actually allowed her stuff to go to family, and her family got hold of the things she had, so that's how they got the scrapbook that they got. And quite frankly, they could burn it for all I care. Johnny Miller said that if I met with Joe and we hit it off and became good acquaintances and reconnected some other family members, that his payment would be taking our uncle's belt buckle from the scrapbook for his own collection. I told Johnny, just take the scrapbook, because when he told me about the sour feeling bullcrap and I started looking more into this stuff and how much bullcrap there was, the things I was finding online, I was finding people saying that Claudia's family called him a pedo and all these things, so they heard it directly from the family and it must be true. And I didn't believe that at first until I heard it from them directly on my page, which confirmed the rumors I heard years ago that people were claiming came from them. I couldn't believe back then that anyone that knew Uncle Harley or was related in some way would say something like that. And these guys did, and they confirmed it for me. So I have no respect for them. I don't care how much respect anybody has, what post they make. I don't care how much you like. You can like the guy as much as you want. When it comes to the family legacy and it comes to Uncle Harley and this family name, if you lie about it, if you exaggerate it for attention, if you slander it, I'm going to call you out for it, and I lose all respect for you. I have respect for your education field that you were in. But as an educator, you should have known better, especially when you wrote out that fake recipe and your grammar mistakes. If you're an educator, I would hope that you were not in English, because that was crap. All right. Anyways, I'd be happy to sit down with Joe and make amends, but because he refuses to talk and his family has spread slander on his behalf about the Colonel on my page, which I have videos showing the screenshots of the comments that they made and countering them with facts. I have no respect for him, and I will continue to correct people when they quote him and his family on things that they've said. So, but I would be willing to sit down with him and make amends. I do believe in second chances. I do believe in forgiveness. So if they want to do that, okay. All right, my rant's over. I'll just go on record too, because he's apparently good buddies with Johnny Miller. Johnny Miller told me, and I could pull up the messages. I have to go back and go through the blocked account. I could pull up the messages. Johnny said that Joe Ledington is a wannabe moocher off of the Colonel's legacy. He's just looking for attention. That's what your good friend Johnny Miller said. And again, I got that in the messages when he was trying that. And that's 2017 or 2018 when he was contacting me to try to get us to meet because I don't know what he wanted. I really don't know what the point is, why they did anything that they did, but I call you that because that's what I perceive. That's what I'm seeing. But this guy, Johnny, is a real moocher. He wants everything and anything he could get of Uncle Harley's to hold over people's heads that impersonate him.